Hello students, today we will study reporting on narration, one of the topic of grammar portion of class 9. So let us understand few of the words. Narrate means speak, narrator is the speaker and narration is the speech. There are two types of speech, direct and indirect speech. Direct speech is the reporter uses actual words of the speaker. This is the direct speech. For example, Mohan said to me, I have known you now. That means Mohan said, use this word only. So now Mohan, I am also interpreting the same way. If I am saying that Mohan said that I have known you now, this is the direct speech. That is, I have quoted the same sentence which Mohan has used. And indirect is the reporter uses his own words in place of the speaker. For example, if I have to say, Mohan told me that he had known me then, this is how I'll interpret this line. I'll interpret using my own words that he told me that he had known me then. So, these are the rules in the way direct speech is being transformed, is being changed into indirect speech. For example, present indefinite tense will change into past indefinite and past indefinite will change into past perfect tense. Again, present continuous tense will be changed into past continuous tense and past continuous tense will change into past perfect continuous. Present perfect tense will change into past perfect and past perfect will remain unchanged. Present perfect continuous will change into past perfect continuous and past perfect continuous will not change. Again, these words, if will and shall is used in the direct speech, then it will be used as would in the indirect speech. Can will be used as could, may as might, must as had to, used to will remain unchanged, ought to will remain unchanged and would better will remain unchanged. This is basically the rule which we have to follow. Again, if these words are used in the direct speech, then these words will be transformed into these, there, then, that in the indirect speech. Again, if we have to see the change in the noun, for example, if first person is used and first person is I and we, then I and will be changed according to the subject of the reporting verb. And if second person is there, that is you, then you will be changed according to the object of the reporting verb. And third person, that is he, she, it, they will not get changed, they will remain unchanged. And these are the cases when tense is not changed. For example, why? If the reporting verb is in present or future tense, if the reporting verb is in present and future tense, at that moment the tense will not change. We cannot change the speech, we cannot change the direct into indirect. If the reported speech has some universal fact or proverb, then also we cannot change because we cannot change universal fact. So how can we change the universal fact in the direct speech into the indirect speech? Assertive kind of sentences, there said is being transformed into said if object is absent, and said to will be changed into told, and when we are changing we have to add the conjunction that. For example, Kamal said, Ram, you would better join this college. See, said is being changed into told or advised here because Kamal is basically giving advice to Ram. Now, Kamal advised whom? Ram. And now the conjunction that will be used, that you, we have already discussed, you will be used according to the object. So according to the object, you will be changed into he, and here object is Ram. So you will be changed into he, and would remain say, would better join. This is changed into that. So we can say that in the indirect speech, the sentence will be Kamal told or advised Ram that he would better join that college. They said to us, we were not ready for all that. Now see, they said to. This said to is changed into told. And when we are removing this apostrophes, we will use the conjunction that. We is the first person. So we, first person will be used according to the subject. So here the subject is they, therefore it will be they here. And were, this word represent that it is the past indefinite tense, and we know that past indefinite tense will be changed into past perfect tense. Therefore this word will get changed into had not been ready for all that. That will remain same. Next is She said to her parents, "You didn't bring my book." Now she told her parents. Now this you is changed according to the object. So she told her parent that they. So this they is used from the word her parents. They had not brought her book. Did not means this is the past indefinite tense, and we know that past indefinite tense will be changed into past perfect tense. Therefore this did not will be changed into had not. And bring my book. Now my was used in reference to her. Now if we interpret in the indirect sense, then we'll use the word her. You told me I had some information for you. Now you told me, this told is will remain same. So you told me that, here the conjunction used will be that. I is used, I, this is the first person, so it will be used according to the subject. So you will be used, that you had. Why I have written had? See, this had is not the helping verb. We cannot say that it is a past perfect tense. Basically it is the past indefinite tense. Here the had is the second form. So since this is the past indefinite tense, we will change it into the past perfect tense, and in past perfect tense had is the helping verb, and since here verb is had only, therefore verb third form will remain same. For some information for you, now the you will be changed into me. Kamal said, "We can do it easily no matter how difficult it is." Now Kamal said that. Now we will change according to subjects. So Kamal said that they will be changed into could. We have already discussed about it. They could do it easily no matter how difficult it was. Is will be changed into was. In the interrogative kind of questions, sad to will be changed into ask. Again sad is changed into ask, and question mark, this sign is dropped. And informative subject is changed into assertive form, that is we have to remove the question mark and we have to put a full stop there. If the question begins with a helping verb, use if or whether, otherwise use no conjunction. See, we'll talk about the example. See, I said him, "Do you know my address?" Now here do is the helping verb. So since it is starting with the helping verb, we have to use if. And when we are using if, this if is itself a conjunction. So we cannot put another conjunction that here. So we'll just put if here. I asked him if he knew my address. This no will be changed into knew, because we are now changing it into the past. This was a present indefinite tense, and so it will change into past indefinite tense. Next is the policeman said to everyone, "Were the criminals carrying any weapon?" Now see, they were basically asking. So the policeman asked everyone whether the criminals had been carrying any weapon. This word, it represents that it is the past continuous tense, and since past continuous will be changed into past perfect continuous, therefore we'll use the had been word here. The boy said to his friends, "Why should I not complain against you?" Now this said to will be changed into ask, because this is the interrogative kind of question. So the boy asked his friends why he should not complain against them. Now this I, this is the first subject, and it will be used according to the subject. So it will be used according to the boy, therefore he will be used. Should not complain against them. Now you is the second person, so it will be used according to the object, therefore them will be used. Next is, she said to him, "Where did you meet my uncle?" Now she is asking, so she asked him where he had met her uncle. See, this did represent that it is the past indefinite tense. So according to the rule, past indefinite tense will change into past perfect tense. Therefore we'll use had. And since now this is an assertive kind of question, we cannot put this helping verb before the subject. We cannot put here. Now we have to choose the right among all the four options. See, the man asked me, "What is my name?" This ask represent that it is a past, and this is represent that it is present, and past and present tenses cannot be clubbed together. Therefore this sentence is not correct. The man asked me what my name was. Let us discuss this later on. First discuss the third one. The man asked me what my name is. Now this ask is representing the past, and this is representing present. So we can again cross it, we can say it is not correct. The man asked me what was my name. Now see, this is basically a sentence. This full stop shows that it is an assertive kind of question, but the rule, what was my name, since helping verb is used before the subject, that means it is a interrogative kind of question, and we have this full stop represent that it is the assertive kind of question. So we cannot use the interrogative kind of sentence here. And now discussing on the second one, the men asked me what my name was. See, the men asked me, this is interrogative, ask, past sentence, what my name is. Now this what, and this is the subject, my name is subject and was is helping verb. Now here the helping verb is used after the subject, therefore it is the assertive kind of subject only, but in the indirect sense. Now again following the same pattern, the men said to me to wait a little longer. Now see, this we can say this is the infinitive form, and infinitive form cannot be used with the active form of say, so this is not right. The men told me to wait a little longer. Again the men told me to wait a little longer. Can the men told him? I think he is basically asking, because he demands a reply, he expects something in return. So we cannot use the word told here. The men requested to me to wait a little longer. See, this is a word requested, and we cannot use the word any preposition with request. So we will drop to, and since here to is there, so we say that it is not a correct sentence. The men asked me to wait a little longer. See, this sentence was basically correct, but just because they use the term, we use the word told here, therefore this was incorrect. And now this is basically a question. So the men asked me, and now this is an indirect speech, therefore we have made it in the assertive kind of sentence. We'll put the full stop and we say that the men asked me to wait a little longer. Now the imperative kind of question. In the imperative question, said to is changed into advised, requested or ordered depending on the question, and to or not to is used as conjunction. We have to use the conjunction to or not to. Mohan said to his brother, work harder this time. Now we know that said to is being changed into either advice, request or order. Now he says that work harder this time. This is basically advice. So Mohan advised his brother to work harder. We have to use to or not to as the conjunction. So he will use to work harder, and this will be changed into that. So Mohan advised his brother to work harder that time. Next is the old man said to Kamal, please help me cross the road. Now basically the old woman is requesting, so we'll use the word requested here. The old man requested Kamal to help her cross the road. Now since we are changing it into the indirect speech, now we cannot use the word me, which was used in reference to Kamal. Now we'll refer it as her. Next is the manager said to his clerk, get this report ready before it is 6 p.m. Now this is an order. So the manager ordered his clerk to get this report, it will be changed into that report before it was 6 p.m. is will be changed into was. Next is the principal said to the peon, let the boy go now. Now this is an order. The principal ordered the peon to let the boy go then. Now is changed into then. And one more way by which we can present this sentence in the indirect way is that the principal ordered the peon that the boy should be allowed to go then. And this is the sentence we most prefer. I said to him, please let me make it clear. Now I am basically requesting, so I requested them that I should be allowed to make it clear. Now I am basically asking, I am taking a permission, so I should be allowed to make it clear. He said to his friends, let's watch final. Now this is a suggestion, so he suggested to his friends that they should watch a movie. Suggested verb, it takes the preposition to with it, so he suggested to his friends. These are the words with which we cannot use the preposition to. Fine? And these are the verbs with which we use the preposition to. So make sure that you learn all these words. Now, object. we have to, first of all, in a question, in a sentence, we have to see whether there is a direct object or there is indirect object. And how we can find it? That if the reply of the question what is some things, then that is the direct object. And if it is a direct object, we cannot use the preposition to. And if the reply of whom is a person, then it is an indirect object and we can use the preposition to here. For example, he said nothing. Now just interpret it in a way. He said whom? No reply. He said what? Nothing. That means it is a direct object. And when it is direct object, we cannot use to here. Next, he said to nobody. Now just find it whether it is direct or indirect. He said to what? No reply. He said to whom? That is nobody. Therefore, it is indirect object. So we'll use to here. The clerk reported to the incident word for word. Now see, we have to find whether it is a direct object or not. Use the same way which I have discussed in the last. So since it is a direct object, we cannot use the to. We have to remove this to. So the sentence will be, the clerk reported the incident word for word. Next is, the clerk reported to the officer. Now it is indirect. To whom? To the officer. So we have to use the preposition to here. Exclamatory kind of question, in that the sad is changed in a way that we have to write exclaim with joy, exclaim with surprise, exclaim with sorrow, exclaim with anger. And here the exclamatory words or this exclamation sign are dropped. And exclamatory form is changed into assertive form. That is, we have to put on the full stop. They said, hooray, our team won the match. Now, this hooray is the expression of happiness, is an expression of joy. So, in indirect speech, we'll write, they exclaimed with joy. That, now we are using the conjunction that, our team. Now, this R is changed according to the subject. Their team had won the match. Why had won? Because this won is the verb second form. That means it is a past indefinite tense. And since past indefinite tense is to be changed into past perfect tense, therefore we use their team had won the match. Or we can also write, they exclaimed that their team had won the match. Next is, he said, alas, my old friend is dead. Now this alas is an expression of sadness. So we'll say, he exclaimed with sorrow that is the conjunction. His old friend will be changed into was. His old friend was dead. Or we can say that he exclaimed sorrowfully